So is AI going to kill reselling? I recently talked to a guy who's worked in tech and IT his entire career, and pretty early on, his company outsourced a significant amount of its operations to India to save on costs, like a lot of companies. But recently, they've outsourced the majority of what their outsourced team was doing to AI. When it comes to wondering about your job stability, that's a scary thing. But what about reselling? You know, the people flipping thrifted clothing on eBay or turning garage sale finds into gold on Poshmark. Others do wholesale, some do drop shipping. There are lots of different reselling models within the secondhand space. Is that also at risk? Let's dive in. Every year, ThredUp, which is one of the leading online consignment and thrift platforms, releases a huge reselling report, and it paints a pretty optimistic picture of where the reselling industry is heading. Now, the report does focus on apparel, shoes, and accessories, which is what so many of my clients sell, but I have a bunch of other clients who sell electronics, books, furniture, and so on. But I still think it gives a really good idea of the shifts that are happening. And there are definitely shifts happening under the surface. If you're a small-time reseller or thinking about getting into it, I think this might be one of the most important videos you watch all year. So let's start with the good news. The secondhand apparel market is projected to reach $367 billion by 2029, according to ThredUp's 2025 report. That's massive growth, and it's being driven by several key forces. A lot of that is being driven by the US, which is expected to reach $74 billion by 2029. US online resale, where a lot of my business is focused, is expected to nearly double by 2029. Record numbers of shoppers are purchasing secondhand goods, and most of that is through online sales. In other words, it's not slowing down. Here's some reasons why. First, let's mention inflation and tariffs. As new clothes and goods get more expensive, secondhand becomes the more obvious choice for more consumers. Second, values are shifting. 74% of consumers say buying secondhand is better for the environment, and most say that it saves them money. People don't just want deals anymore, they want their purchases to mean something. And most important for resellers, online resale is accelerating. For the second year in a row, platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop are growing fast. So yes, the resale market is thriving, but here's the AI twist. ThredUp's report mentions a crazy statistic. 48% of consumers now say that AI-powered personalization makes buying used clothes feel just as easy as buying new. 59% of younger generations say the same thing. So let that sink in. Brands are using AI to do things like suggest outfits, match customer style preferences, and improve search functionality, making secondhand shopping faster and smoother than ever before. Sounds good, right? But here's the part you need to pay attention to. If you're a small seller still writing titles by hand and uploading dark, fuzzy photos, you're now competing against algorithms. AI is lowering the friction for buyers and the barriers to entry, which is great, but it also raises the bar for sellers. And it's not just resellers like you and me who are getting smarter. Big brands are now in the game. ThredUp's Resale as a Service lets companies like J.Crew, Adidas, and Madewell run their own resale shops. These are trusted brands using their own customer data, their own logistics, and now they're using AI to personalize everything. This is like when Amazon moved into the third-party seller space. This is what I used to do. At first, it was a gold rush, but eventually a lot of little guys got squeezed out unless they adapted. The brands are streamlining the resale process and keeping the profit in-house. That means more competition. So the question is, should you be worried? And here's my answer. In the short and midterm, I think resellers are in a great position, especially if you adapt. AI isn't going to scan a Goodwill bin. It's not going to negotiate a $10 bundle deal at a yard sale. And it's not going to know that weird brand that you found that suddenly got trendy on TikTok, at least not right now. Sourcing and taste still matter. Human instinct still matters. And personality, your voice, your shop, your customer service still matters. And side note, that's why I'm refreshing my Financial Insiders membership, which is a place where a real person and real people help other real people thrive in that stuff you don't really want to think about. The taxes, the bookkeeping, business formation, it's deductible. You get a ton of access to me, Q&A, guests, tax reviews. You can see more info below, and I'll leave that there for now. And for the reselling, if you want to stick around long term, you need to stop seeing AI as a threat and start using it as a tool. If you want to future-proof your reselling business starting today, here's some things you can do. Use AI to streamline your listings. Use tools like ChatGPT to write better product descriptions. Use it to clean up your photos instantly and automate where you can. Go niche. The broader the market, the more likely a brand will take over. But they're not chasing 90s rave gear or obscure plus-size vintage denim. You can do that. Build relationships. Brands don't always answer buyer questions questions on the weekends. You do. Your DMs, your custom thank you notes, those things build loyalty. Stay lean and flexible. Big brands move slowly. You can pivot, test, and evolve quicker. So while the reselling economy is booming, the game is evolving. The people who fear AI might be left behind. The people who use AI are going to have a bigger chance of winning big. And it reminds me of something from the accounting world back in the day, so I'm told, when spreadsheets like Lotus 123 and Excel first came out. Some accountants were terrified. They thought it would make them obsolete. But the truth is, it wasn't the spreadsheets that killed off accounting jobs. It's just that the ones who didn't adapt and learn to use them were the ones who were eventually replaced. The ones who embraced the new tools, they got more efficient, took on more clients, and became more valuable. And it's the same story with AI today. It's not going to kill reselling, but if you ignore it, someone else will use it to work faster, smarter, and cheaper. And that's who you'll be competing against. If you're already seeing shifts in your sales and you've got your own predictions for how this plays out, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments. See the details for my new Financial Insiders membership in the links below, where you'll also find more resources to help you optimize your tax situation and overcome the anxiety so you can focus on building your business profitably.